Hello, it's Alex Goodall here with a short video about systems, processes and outsourcing. Now these are topics we have to master if we're ever going to get our business moving at a fast enough pace to make a reasonable income. In a moment I'm going to introduce you to a real gem of a resource which I've polished up for you and turned into something extraordinarily valuable and usable. But first let me explain why this is so very important. You only need to have been in the IM world for a month or two to start experiencing overwhelm. There's always far too much to learn, not just when we start but all the time, far too much to remember when we've learned it, and basically just far too much to do, constantly. It seems like we're always chasing our tail, so there's never enough time to actually make any money. And I have to tell you, even after many years it gets no better. In fact, it gets worse unless you take action as early as possible to develop your systems. Now, I know you've heard this before, but I can't emphasize it enough. Without systems in place, you're truly lost at sea. Internet marketing isn't all about creativity and inspiration and relationships. Sure, there's an important role for all those things, but ultimately, everything has to feed back into your business systems. Now, what do I mean by that? In fact, the full answer is quite long-winded, so let me give you a quick answer. You need a system for organizing your stuff, your downloads, your content, your information, your records, and so on. And you need a system for organizing your activities. So it's your stuff and activities, your things and your actions. Well, of course, you already have a way to organize your stuff because you own the IMI organizer. But how do you organize your activities? Again, there's a long answer to that, but there's also a short answer, which is process and documentation. Now, defining and documenting your processes is no trivial task, but I'll be honest with you, somehow you do have to carve out time in your schedule to systematize and document your business. There's simply no way around that. And you need to do that initially for yourself, and also when you start using them for your outsourcers. Now, I know this is a daunting task, and as I said, in the end you have to do it yourself, bit by bit, as you develop and refine your business model. However, there is a shortcut. It's a hugely helpful resource that will give you a massive leg up in getting your processes documented, and when you need to do it, getting your outsourcers trained. It's actually a package of 140 outsourcing templates. Now that sounds exciting enough if you understand the importance of what I'm talking about, but there's more to it, because think of what you would normally get if you were to buy something like this from someone else. You would normally get delivered a folder containing 140 documents with just the file names to tell you what's inside each one. And to be honest, those file names are not always that meaningful. So such a simple organizational issue can greatly reduce the value to you of this resource. So what I've done is I've tightly integrated this resource into the IMI Organizer folder structure. And not only that, but I've created a separate mind map just for these documents. The mind map interface provides you with an easy-to-use, conveniently structured set of topics that take you directly to each of the documents. Let me show you this live so you can see exactly how it works. Once you've gone through the installation process for the outsourcing templates, which should only take about 60 seconds, you can access the documents from your normal IMI Organizer map, just like this. Suppose I was looking in one of my topics, let's say blogs and blogging. So there's the folder for blogs and blogging. In there I would see that there's a folder called how-to guides and templates. And if I open that up, there are all the templates relating to blogs and blogging and WordPress and so on. The same is true for any of the other topics that contain any of the outsourcing templates documents. So for example, if I were to open up email management, again I would see there's a subfolder there now called how to guides and templates, and in there are all the templates relating to email management. So that way, whenever you look in a folder for a specific topic from the mind map, if there are any how-to guides and templates relating to that topic, you'll see the appropriate subfolder automatically that's been added there when you installed the outsourcing templates. Of course, there's nothing to stop you creating your own how-to guides folder if you have some guides of your own for topics not covered by this package. But as I said, that's not all, because I have also given you a way to access all the documents from a single location. So let me just open up the main folder for the IMI organizer. There it is, that's the main IMI index folder containing all my IMI organizer folders and documents. And in here you'll see a new folder that's been added called add-on maps. Now that was added as part of the installation process for this package. And in here, if I open that up, you'll see a subfolder called 140 outsource templates. And in there you'll see not the templates themselves, because don't forget they're spread across all the subfolders of my IMInfo. They're spread across all of those folders. But in this subfolder here within add-on maps, 140 outsource templates, is actually the mind map that I just showed you briefly before. And if I just double click on there, it gets opened up. And there you can see this special mind map that links specifically to all the 140 outsource templates. I'll give you a quick overview first, and then for those of you who love to see all the details, I'll go through all of the topics of the mind map and show you a selection of the templates as well. But if you don't need that level of detail to make a purchasing decision, you can just skip that part of the video. So here's a short overview of the mind map. On the left is some bits of guidance that I recommend you read. Just talks about the nature of the documents, the license, how the documents are organized and so on. And in fact, let me show you how the documents are organized, because that's the main point of this. The yellow headings here are the same names as the names of the folders under my IMInfo. Remember I showed you the blogs and blogging and email management. Well, the yellow names here are the names of the folders that contain some of the documents of the outsourcing template. So there's blogs and blogging, there's email management. And the way they're structured underneath there is an orange heading for the systems or websites or tools that the documents belong to. So all the WordPress management documents are under there, or the blogger management ones are under there, and so on. That's pretty much how the thing is organized, pretty straightforward. Under traffic generation, for example, we have subheadings: article marketing, linking strategies, press releases, social networking, and so on. Okay, I think that's enough for the short overview of the mind map. And by the way, one thing I should mention is that although it's called 140 outsourcing templates, there are actually 161 documents, and in total there are about 400 pages. So it's if you look at it as a single document, it's a pretty comprehensive document, 400 pages long. Now the rest of this video takes about another 12 minutes, and in that time I go through each of the topics on the map and show you some examples of the documents. But if you've seen enough and just want to get your hands on this unique resource, go right ahead. The buy button's just below, and you can use that to take the crucial step in setting your business up on a solid foundation. But if you want to see all the details, here we go. I'll start covering the mind map by briefly looking at this read this topic on the left here, and I recommend you read through each of the topics here when you get the product, because it does contain useful information. But for now, I'll just open this document more than just outsourcing. Actually, it's not a document. I click on the little icon and the pane opens here on the right. And the point I'm making here is that these are more than just simply outsourcing templates. They're artifacts which you can use for actually running your own business yourself. You can use them for training and guiding your outsourcers, and also as a learning resource for yourself. I think you'll understand why that's the case when I go through them in detail. And the other point to make here is that there are a range of different types of documents, different types of artifacts. There are how-to guides, and most of them are how-to guides, which are step-by-step instructions to perform some operation. There are record-keeping templates. We see an example of that. There are simple checklists. There are standard texts. By that I mean something like the text you would put on a website to explain how to do whitelisting. There are a few examples of those. There are protocols. For example, a protocol for finding affiliates. I'll show you an example of that. And also what to look for in. So what to look for when hiring a graphic designer or a ghostwriter. And again, we'll see some examples of those. So now let me go through all these topics on the right and show you exactly what you get. What I'm going to do to save time in opening and closing topics is open everything up in detail and just scroll through. That's going to be the most efficient way of doing this. So let's start at the top. Let me just scroll up there. There we are. And just let me tell you what the convention is. The topics in yellow are the names of the topics in the My IM Info, which we saw here, are the names of these names here, but only for those folders here that contain any of the outsourcing templates. So yellow is the color of the folder name, and the gold color is wherever there's a tool or a website with templates or guidance relating to that tool or website, then I've listed that tool or website and given the gold background. That's the convention. So let's start with affiliate marketing. Now let's suppose, for example, that you're entering a new niche with a new product and you want to recruit affiliates to promote that product. The first step obviously is to find a whole set of people that you want to approach, but just finding who those people are can be very time consuming, let alone interacting with them. So you decide that you can outsource the task to find the potential affiliates. But the first step is, how do you tell your outsourcers what you want done? Now, you could go through and work out that out in detail, and it would take a bit of time and effort, but you get ready-made here a protocol finding potential affiliates. It's all written down. Obviously you can use this yourself if you want to find affiliates, but the point is it's written down so you can either use it yourself, or if you're going to buy hire outsourcers, you can give this document to them, maybe with a little modifications to suit your business, but it's a very good starting point. So for example, it tells you that using Yahoo directory is one place to find affiliates, and it tells you how you can use that. Open Directory Project is another place to find affiliates, and it explains how to do that. ClickBank is another one, and so on. So you get the idea of how that works. So that's the potential affiliates protocol. On the other side of the coin is, when they're finding all this information, how are they going to report that back to you? Or indeed, if you're finding it, how are you going to keep a record of all the information you find for potential affiliates? And you get provided here a potential affiliate tracking spreadsheet. So that document is a spreadsheet to open up with a set of obvious headings, and your outsourcers, or indeed you if you're doing it, would just fill in the details under each of those columns with email address and phone number, and then it'd be up to you to approach each of those potential affiliates as you see fit. So that's the type of use that these protocols and these guides and these templates can be put. So let's go through and quickly see what we've got. I won't open them all out. Under autoresponders, there's 4 guides for common tasks under using Aweber and 1 for GetResponse. Under blogs and blogging, we've got a whole collection telling you how to do common tasks for WordPress. So these are the type of tasks that you would want an outsourcer might need to perform. Also for blogger management, some tasks for there: BlogRush, One, Technorati, FeedBurner, and a template for recording comment tracking. So if you're using an outsourcer to record comments on blogs, part of your link building strategy, for example, there's a spreadsheet for them to report the results back to you. Under business admin, there's quite a number of guides relating to surveys, support desks, PayPal, business cards, you order them from Vistaprint, accounting using QuickBooks, eFax, time management. So for example, if you want your outsourcers to keep track of their time, there is a tool called Timestamp, and here is a guide on how to record time using Timestamp. So you would give your outsourcers that document. ClickBank, how to do affiliate tracking using ClickBank, content management system, editing using wikis, proving and editing content in Mambo, ebook creation and PDFs, how to create PDFs and how to create PDFs online. For email management, the guides relating to Thunderbird, Outlook and Gmail, and there's some cross links to other parts of the map for guides that are to do with email. Again, these are actually both under the cPanel section. We'll see that in a moment. For forums, 4 guides on using PHP bulletin boards. Google AdWords, a short guide on creating keyword targeted campaigns. Graphics, 1 on using PaintShop Pro, 1 on using GIMP. What I call integrated packages. These are packages that have multiple features. A member is one. It's not just a membership site, it does all sorts of other things as well. And there's 5 guides on using a member. Work at home mom's cart, quite a few guides on that. Some for quick sales and 1 shopping cart, and also DL Guard. Internet audio, podcast directory submission, tips for interviewing and where to find guests for podcasts. That's quite useful. Streaming audio, Audacity. Internet video, how to use Camtasia, YouTube, Google Video and Reva. Offline promotion. So here's something which is an example of how buying this product can teach you something that you perhaps didn't know. You may not know, for example, that one type of promotion technique is offline. Very powerful one is using postcards, and you can set up a whole campaign completely from your desktop to send postcards to people, and you can do that with UPS. And here's a guide to how to do that. Online auctions using eBay, setting up accounts on eBay. Some really useful sites here under other. These again, new ideas that maybe you didn't know about. Well worth studying those for new business ideas and new ways of using the internet. Outsourcing, as you'd expect, there's quite a lot of guides. There's 3 for posting jobs on different freelance sites, and a whole collection of them on working with contractors. So let's specifically look at this one, suggested proofreading protocol. So this is what you would give to a proofreader to tell them what's expected of them. Okay, proofreading protocol. Part 1, expectations, confidentiality, turnaround, file format, US English, proofreading process. It's all laid out of what you'd expect from a proofreader. It just a very professional approach. If you're using outsourcers, if you give them something like this, it's obvious to them that you're professional in what you're doing, and they're likely to produce a much more professional result. What to look for in contractors, also a highly valuable set of documents there to avoid you hiring the wrong people, knowing what questions to ask, and possibly avoiding legal problems when you're doing checks to make sure that your material being given isn't copyrighted and so on. Under PC management and tools, 3 guides for common issues to do with Microsoft Office, one for Open Office. Under spam, 3 guides to do with the Mailwasher e-management system. 1 guide on internet research protocol. There's some useful information and suggestions there. Teleseminars and webcasts. Again, did you know, for example, that there is a tool called Free Conference that you can use to set up free teleseminars? And this will tell you how to do it. Traffic analysis, quick guide on how to check Google Analytics code, and stat counter just for counting number of people that hit a web page. Quite a lot under traffic generation, divided up into article marketing, advertising banner ads, linking strategies, press releases, social networking, covering MySpace, Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn, social site submission, covering Dig and Delicious, and content publishing, covering HubPages, Squidoo, Yahoo 360 and Casio. Web building, 2 for using front page, 1 on a tool called internet-based family web builder. Quite a lot on those. And finally, web hosting and admin, 1 on MySQL, a collection on cPanel, and here are the ones we saw cross-referenced from the email management section, forwarding an email and setting up an email account. And finally, 2 for FTP management, 1 for the Qt FTP tool and 1 for the Fire FTP tool. So that's giving you a complete run-through of what you'll get with this package in terms of the documents, and showing you how you can very easily access those documents, how you can see what you've got and easily access them using that mind map. And as I said, you can also access the documents directly from the folders. So that's it, my friend. I hope you can see how this resource will take you a long way down that all-important path towards systematizing and documenting your business for greater profit. And I do encourage you to download and install this right away. Bye bye for now.